Today we're going to discuss an industry that builds the world around us. From machines in factories to packaging on your shelves, the manufacturing industry has existed for decades. But selling in this space has never been easy. Today, I'm here to make this slightly more comfortable and easier for the salespeople who are targeting companies in the manufacturing space. If you're ready, let's dive in. First up, let's actually understand why is sales in the manufacturing industry so cumbersome? And the first reason for that is that the sales cycles are extremely long. Typically, in the manufacturing sector, decisions are very capital intensive, as a large amount of money goes into machinery, production, and raw materials. Because of this, the average deal size is very large. As such, the key decision makers conduct thorough ROI analysis and typically discuss with a lot of other stakeholders. There are also a lot of testing phases and certifications that need to be addressed. Because of all these factors, the sales cycle is notoriously long. Let's say you're providing an industrial robotic arm to a car manufacturer. Your product would potentially cost €500,000. No decision maker is going to choose that just like buying a shoe. Typically, it's going to involve a long process, which could include an ROI analysis, a testing phase, budgetary approval, and multiple decisions with the board. This is just one short example of why a sales cycle in this industry can be long and tiring. The next hurdle is meeting safety and security standards. You might have an amazing tool that provides a good return on investment and fits into the budget of your target account. But if it doesn't meet certain safety standards, then they can't really justify the purchase. For example, if you work in the automotive sector, you know how important the ISO 26262 is. Convincing your prospect that your product not only provides value to them, but also meets all the necessary standards in that particular country and worldwide is another reason why the sales cycle here are typically very long. Another hurdle that is specific to the manufacturing industry is that there are a large number of decision makers, even if it's just one machine that the company wants to buy. For that, typically, there will be an operations manager, a procurement officer, a quality control officer, the CFO, and all these people together need to come to that joint decision. If you are providing an assembly line software, then the operations manager needs to know that yes, this is going to improve the production efficiency. Similarly, the procurement officer must approve that there is a positive ROI on this tool. And lastly, the CFO needs to be able to check the budget and know that they can afford to spend on this tool. Now that you've understood what are some of the hurdles, and mind you, these are just some of them, not all of them, then it is essential to know how you can overcome them. As without this information, selling in this space is going to be extremely challenging. To understand how you can approach people, it is necessary to understand the buying cycles of this process. And typically there are 5 phases in this buying cycle. The first stage is the awareness phase. And this is when your prospect becomes aware of a problem that they have. At this point, your prospect might start researching potential solutions to their problem. And they can do so by looking at content on the internet or attending certain conferences where they can meet vendors who can solve these problems for them. Next up is the consideration phase. And this is when your prospect has typically identified a few products or tools that can solve their pain points and might reach out to them for an introductory call or request a white paper which has more detailed technical specifications. The third phase is the evaluation phase. And this is when things start to heat up. At this point, your prospect is aware of your product and is genuinely interested in it. But in order to move ahead, they need some social proof that this product actually works. So this is the phase where you might want to share case studies of how you've helped other similar companies alleviate their problems, or have discussions with quality managers or engineers and conduct product demos for them, so that you can show the technical prowess of your product. The fourth phase is the decision phase. And this is when your prospect, along with the entire buying committee in their company, decide on whether to go ahead with your product or not. This comes after a rigorous testing phase where your product has been put through numerous edge cases and your account is convinced that your product can help them with their production capabilities. In this phase, also important is the budget and the ROI, as ultimately any decision also depends on the monetary implications. The last phase is your post-purchase phase, and this is typically when you want to discuss with your prospect about how the product is working and see if there are potential opportunities for upselling or cross-selling. Well, so now you're pretty aware of what the challenges in the manufacturing space are and what the buying cycle is like. With this piece of information, you can actually start creating a sales strategy which can help you reach out to the right individuals at the right time. And to do so, you need a strong tool arsenal. Typically, what are the tools that you might need? First up, you need a tool that can help you identify your right target accounts and the right people within these accounts. Here, a tool such as LinkedIn Sales Navigator or Surfe that can provide you a list of companies that fit your ICP and provide you the contacts within those target accounts is essential. With Surfe, you can actually also search for company lookalikes. So let's say you've got one account already as a customer in your database and you want to find other companies similar to this one, then you can do so with Surfe's company lookalike search. This way, you know that your prospecting efforts are being targeted towards the right customers. Another key element, which we touched upon a bit earlier in the video, is that there are a lot of decision makers within these target companies. As I mentioned earlier, you've got procurement officers, you've got operations managers, you've got CFOs, and you need to know who are the right people in your target companies that you want to reach out to. Again, a tool like Surfe can really help you in identifying the job titles and the job descriptions, which is also really important because if you yourself are not in the manufacturing space, you may not know what that job title means or entails. With Surfe, you can search for relevant keywords and using that, build a targeted list of leads that are relevant to you, to your product, and can help you in personalizing your outreach. Other kinds of tools that you will need are perhaps buyer intent tools that can help you in identifying what is the buyer phase of your potential prospect. As I mentioned before, there are 5 different phases, and if you know which phase your target account is in, then that can help you in tailoring your sales strategy accordingly for them. It can also help you in creating an ABM strategy, and if you want to know more about how you can do that, then I'll leave a link to another video that I think will be really useful for you. The last tool that I recommend that you have is a CRM. In addition to a data enrichment platform like Surfe and a buyer intent provider, your CRM can help you manage all your leads in one place and help you in conducting your outreach efforts so that you remain on top of all your leads. If you're looking for a CRM, then I recommend HubSpot, Pipedrive, or Salesforce. With this, I hope that you've gained some information on the challenges that are present in the manufacturing industry and how you can actually circumvent them to get a head start on your competitors. If you found this useful and would actually like to try Surfe, then I'll drop in a link in the description below and you can try Surfe for free for 14 days. Surfe can help you find valid business email addresses, phone numbers, and can also help you in identifying your ICP and finding target accounts. If you found this video helpful, then consider hitting that like button. And if you would like to see more videos on how to up your sales game, then hit that subscribe button. I'm Aviral and I'll see you next time.